Giulini is considered one of the best-known conductors of the 20th century. In the book Serving Genius, author Thomas Saylor chronicles the life of Giulini and his imprint in the world of music. Mr. Saylor joins us now. Welcome. Thanks for coming on the show.
Great to be here.
Giulini was born in a beautiful region, or lived in a beautiful region of Italy, right in view of the Dolomite Mountains. Do you think this influenced his career choice in any way and his outlook on life?
Well, he was exposed not only to the natural beauty of the region, but also to the Italian culture and the Germanic or Austrian culture. And that does show in his treatment of not only the Italian literature, music, but also the Beethoven, Brahms, Bruckner, Mahler, that type of thing.
Right. You write about his service in World War II and his deep-seated hatred of the Nazis as well as the fascists. So he made a decision to go AWOL.
Yes, he did. Well, first of all, he made a pact with his brothers that they were conscripted into the Italian army against their will. They had no choice but to serve, but they made a pact that they would not shoot to kill, even if it meant they would be killed. So Carlo Maria had a pistol and would shoot over people's heads. His brother, Steno, never loaded his rifle, even though he was in the Russian front. When Giulini's unit returned to Rome, he went AWOL and he went underground, literally living in a sewer for 9 months. Never saw the light of day, and his wife Marcella brought him scores, which he smuggled from the conservatory library, and he would study scores by candlelight in the sewer.
And it wasn't until the Allies regained or gained control of Rome that he was able to come out and see daylight for the first time.
Correct.
After 9 months.
Yes.
So he carved out a career for himself in Rome with, well, actually with Milan Radio, which would have been in Milan, and began to revive some rather obscure operas.
Yes. For the first 10 years or so, he was mostly an opera conductor. Then he made his American debut with the Chicago Symphony during the Fritz Reiner years, 1955. And that led to a 23-year, what could only be called a love relationship with the CSO that extended until 1978.
How was he received here? Tell me about those years.
Well, it was love at first sight from both of them. He didn't really speak much English, but he didn't need to, because he was really a master of the art of the gesture, conducting. He was a true conductor in the sense that his gestures exactly reflected what he wanted at all times. He was not a traffic cop conductor. He didn't just keep order. He imprinted an artistic vision of the music through his gestures, which is not easy to do. And so he didn't need to speak much English, and which is good, because when he first came here, he didn't speak much English.
Just visually seems to be a very fit guy, or seemed to be a very fit guy, thin, and which I would think would lend something to his performance.
He had a presence. He was 6'2", very, very thin. Until his death, he was very thin, and long arms and a sweep. And that does help. It does convey some power, and he was very, very charismatic looking.
What were some of the qualities that made him the genius that he was?
Well, he brought a lyricism to music, a lyrical type approach. It was very horizontal in the sense that he manipulated the tension that as you went through a phrase, the tension waxed and waned within notes and within phrases. And so you were carried along almost hypnotically. Your mind could not wander during a Giulini performance because it was so captivating. And the important thing is you left there a different person than you went in. And that's the purpose of art, to change you. And very few Giulini performances were pedestrian. You came out of there different and changed.
Do you think his pacifist nature influenced those performances in any way?
I think so. You know, he was a person that could not conceive of evil or of killing or of anything except goodness and love. And I think when his father was on his deathbed, he said to him, said to his 3 sons, live your life in a way that is filled with love. And the word love comes from almost every sentence that Giulini said to his orchestra.
Well, thank you for sharing a wonderful story of a great conductor.
Yes. You're welcome.
Thomas Saylor is the author. Thank you for joining us. Serving Genius is the name of the book, and it is on shelves now. Coming up next in Midday Fix, a performance from the cast of Beauty and the Beast, and then Jim Ramsey as your forecast. And now for our career builder job of the day. The Volvo Group in Woodbridge is hiring a full-time district sales manager for its central region. If you're a candidate, you should have a bachelor's degree in business administration and a minimum of 5 years experience. For more information, log on to WGN-TV.com/midday to find the link to the job of the day.